Hi, welcome to this very special edition of GTA 5 at o'clock. I'm Tim Weaver, I'm here with Dan Dawkins. Hello, Dan.
Hello.
This is Michael's trailer. Dan, exciting times. Let's kick it off.
Yeah, Michael's trailer. Let's be honest, these trailers have delivered. They've whopped it out of the park for me, Tim. I think these are great.
Yeah, they are. Very good, very good. They sort of there's lots of little bits that we've picked out of it already, but we're going to run through them and tell you exactly what we spotted. Some of it, Dan, ties in quite nicely to stuff we've talked about on previous shows of GTA 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll pull it out as we go along. We'll pull by frame, and we'll pull out a few bits as we go. We'll kick straight off. It's dude running. Looks like he's in the sort of Vespucci Beach, Venice Beach area.
Yeah.
You can see the mountain bike, which is like a Whip-It mountain bike.
It does say whip it, Dan. I can confirm that with my eyes.
Well, that's good. Now, first guy we meet, this is Michael's therapist.
Yes.
As to this point, unseen.
As to this point, unseen. You speculated that he looked like Billy Crystal. I'm not sure about that, Dan. I'm not sure if Rockstar were going for that Billy Crystal vibe.
Yeah, things I don't think Rockstar will do. One is to chase Billy Crystal with actual money.
Yeah.
In some attempt to. I mean, I say resurrect his career. He used to present the Oscars, so.
Yeah, he did.
That guy's made it.
Yeah.
But what I think is he's like a man with a rubbish perm, and he's interviewing a guy who's a badass old gangster. So I guess whilst they don't really want to riff off the idea of analyse this or analyse that, I just wonder if it's not accidental that it's like middle-aged gangster man meets Billy Crystal alike.
Yeah. Let's run with it.
So yeah, Michael's riffing off on not being particularly happy. We see him at his mansion here.
Yeah.
We can see in the background the big construction tower with the crane that we've seen in a few scenes before. We see a few times Michael likes a drink.
This is Michael's scene of domestic bliss.
Yep, with him
It's
necking.
actually taking a drink, as you say. Quite a nicely detailed kitchen there, Dan. We're assuming, because we've obviously seen the game now, and we can talk about it more at 5 o'clock on Thursday.
Yep.
But we're assuming this is all in game because this looks very much like the sort of game that we saw.
Yeah, you notice as well, Michael's not drinking from long glasses. He's going for it, my friend.
Yeah.
He's got a short glass. It's all about living. This is great. Now we go straight into Jimmy's bedroom. A couple of observations to make here. One is that Jimmy isn't at his fighting weight.
No, he certainly isn't.
He's a little bit out of shape. He's playing some kind of games console, which you probably would say is like a sort of Xbox-style rip-off. He's also wearing a headset, which means that he's probably playing online.
Yeah.
Now, this, I think, is interesting because it ties it more closely to what we've talked about a few times, and that's the Rush casting call that took place last year to cast voices for GTA 5. And it makes him sound even more like Kevin De Silva, who's described as like a fat FPS playing son, smokes a load of weed, he has anxiety issues, and a card for his bad back. So he's very opinionated and making racist comments while playing online. Which makes it, I mean, obviously he's not doing a racism here, but it does seem a little bit like he's that dude.
And of course, in those original casting calls, Dan, for people who haven't maybe watched GTA 5 o'clock before,
Yes.
There were also other members of the De Silva family who have turned out to be Michael, and we'll talk a little bit about Trevor later on.
Yeah, like it seems like there's a family in those casting calls called the De Silvas who seem very central to the plot, and like the key De Silva is become Michael's character, and these are his kids. And like you say, there's more to say about it. Looking again around his room, loads of rock posters. You can at leisure pick out bands as you want. What I thought was quite amusing and quite an indictment is if you look on his desk, he's obviously got a sort of nudie calendar up there, and he's got like another sort of lady picture. But there's a very conspicuous box of tissues. Surely for blowing his nose and not
I would think
not
so, yeah.
blowing anything else.
No.
So yeah, that's quite a good touch. And he's got his guitar in the corner where it probably sits because he probably never plays it. Now, next up, who's this, Tim?
This is Michael's daughter, Tracy. A bit of a... I don't know what it said in the original Rush casting call, Dan, but that'll probably give us a good idea. But she looks like a bit of a party animal. She's obviously a teenager, so she's at that age. Here she's at Del Perro Pier. Well, you can see Del Perro Pier in the background. Her friends, I don't know that we've seen these guys before in any detail. I'm not sure Rockstar have talked about who who she socialises with, Dan. But anyway, these are the guys that we'll get to know a bit better as time goes on.
Yeah, so we're reacting to this like almost within half hour of the trailers coming out, so we've had time to do a little bit of analysis, but not too much. It'd be worth someone cross-referencing the faces we can see here, the sort of slick back hair gangster guy on the right, the guy with the chains on the left. You know, it could be they appear later on. It could be that some of them are Franklin's friends. It could just be an unrelated party crowd.
Just one thing, Dan. The lady sitting next to the black guy here on the couch looks like she's on a phone there.
Yeah, she's probably eye-fruiting.
Eye-fruiting up, and of course the phones will be playing a much bigger part in GTA 5, and you can read more about that and listen more about that on Thursday.
And I guess this boat as well, this boat's got a mobile jacuzzi, so it'd be pretty cool if you can commandeer this boat.
Do you think this is a boat maybe that Michael owns?
Probably, given that he's minted.
Yeah.
Now, next person, it's the slightly rectangular-faced Amanda.
Yeah, I don't. Her face is. She's got very big eyes. Very big eyes. But yeah, she's doing a yoga. Yoga is one of the activities you can do in GTA 5. So presumably you'll also be able to join her in a game of yoga. Is that what they call it? I don't.
Yeah, a little cheeky game of yoga, Tim. You just go to the gym and ask for that game of yoga.
So yeah, I don't know what more you can add here, really, Dan.
No, she's just doing yoga. Right, next scene, we've got Michael wrestling with Tracy. Looks like he's taking a controller out of her hand, and he's saying, "No more."
She sort of runs off saying, "I hate you."
Yeah, if I can't watch the Kardashians, Dad.
Yeah,
screw you.
Yeah,
maybe something like that.
Some weird. If you look around Michael's house, Dan, some weird posters on the paintings on the wall.
Yeah.
Not the flower ones. I mean, there's a self-portrait on the left-hand side here, and actually in some of the other scenes in the house, there are some other self-portraits.
Yeah, it looks like a portrait of Amanda. That's that. And we can see again, there's a nice picture of a little dog. It almost looks like a photo of a dog as opposed to a picture of a dog.
Do you think that means Michael will also own a dog, like Franklin owns a dog?
I've no idea.
Excellent. That's the kind of analysis we like.
Yep.
She storms off.
And he's back on the drink.
In the background, Dad Naissance or Dada Naissance.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little spin on him hating his life and maybe not being the ideal dad.
He's also got a book by leading author and your namesake Tim Vapid.
Yeah, well, I like being, that's my surname on a Saturday night. That's my DJ name.
That's my permanent name.
Yeah.
The Montback Gallery is quite a sort of aspirant shelf. It sounds like Amanda's decorated it, basically.
Yeah.
It also looks like this might be a texturing error. There's the Montbank Gallery on the top right, and in the bottom left you can see Montbank again.
Oh, yeah.
So whether that's a texturing problem or Amanda's
really
buying the book twice because it's so brilliant.
Yeah. Drinking again, Michael, also on the screen here, Dan.
Yeah, watching on his big old projector screen, watching our old action movies. And you see he's zipping off on his bike again with Jimmy, looks like intro.
Yeah, this is Vespucci Beach that they passed just now, and now we're into Del Perro Pier. We can see the fairground in the background, the big wheel that's made sort of the real life Santa Monica Pier kind of famous.
Yeah, and I guess the general theme of it is, Jimmy saying to his dad, "I'm not working out your midlife crisis issues for you." Michael's clearly in the throes of, he's got it all, but he's not a happy man. Right, we can see Amanda playing tennis. We know that a tennis court is attached to your mansion, Michael's mansion. You'll be able to play tennis in a mini-game. We're yet to see that actually in action, but, I think they're going to have more good built-out mini-games as opposed to the sort of darts and fiddly things from GTA 4. This is good.
Okay, interesting.
We see, well, first of all, on the left, it's worth noting, in happier times, it looks like a picture of Amanda and Michael's wedding.
Yeah.
I will also say, maybe this is going to be like a seismic rocket bomb. Doesn't Michael, in his tux, look a little bit like one of the previous GTA characters?
He does, yeah. Are you thinking GTA 3 here?
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah.
So, I know people have fantasised online, like that secretly Michael is Claude from GTA 3.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, and it would be a wonderful bit of fan service. Also, other people have fantasised that, like, Trevor is Tommy Vercetti, and Franklin is CJ, but that's ridiculous because it would mean that CJ really hasn't aged and has gone backwards in time.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fantasy leap too far, but there is something in this idea of Michael being Claude. I'd say certainly looking at that picture, and the wedding picture, there's a similarity.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm not saying that as a fact. I'm just pointing it out as a nice coincidence. But there they are in happier times. Right now, it looks like Michael's chasing a man who's probably been in bed with his wife out the window.
Yeah, that certainly looks like the case. And boy, is he going over the balcony now.
Yeah, and this dude, obviously wearing distinctive leopard skin Didier Sacks pants.
Yeah.
I wondered again, looking at the Rush casting call from last year, could this be a character described as Chad, who's like a late 20-something, early 30-something, pretty boy, misogynist Beverly Hills party boy?
He certainly looks the right age, doesn't he? And it would, given the relationship that Michael has with his wife and the way his wife seems to be, I wouldn't put it beyond her to shack up with a guy much younger than her.
No, absolutely not.
Especially if she's had her boobs done.
Yeah, and again we can see the picture of her in the background. Again, her giant starey eyes.
They're hot. No wonder he's having problems with her, man alive.
Mike
he wakes up terrified in the middle of the night. She's staring at him.
Mike spinning past Vinewood. Lovely view of the city.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's back chatting with his therapist. Some interesting scenes.
Yeah, interesting scenes here. Now, why are they interesting?
I couldn't tell you, Tim. Nudge wink. I couldn't say. But I would watch our show later in the week. Right, and then we've got Michael chatting to his therapist once again.
He's addicted to chaos, and boom. Who we got here, Dan? We reckon we got a theory on this.
Yeah, well, this is flash frame stuff, but he's punching up a guy very clearly in a car garage. And again, in the Rush casting call, we know that there is an Armenian car dealer who was cast, and he used to be called, and I know this name has changed, called Harat Vartanian, who is described as like 40 to 50 years old, Armenian car dealer, moneylender, would-be Fagin and bully, heavily connected to the underworld, but irritates people so much no one likes him. We also know that Franklin works for an Armenian car dealer.
Yeah, he repossesses cars for him, doesn't he?
So, is this an avenue by which Michael meets Franklin, I wonder?
That's a good spot. Although they have that conversation, don't they, in the second trailer?
Yes.
Outside, I'm not sure where we know it is actually, but they have that conversation. So whether they meet there and they get chatting, and then Michael comes and helps Franklin out, or whether this literally is how they meet.
Yeah, or like you say, or whether they're talking and Franklin goes, "Man, I hate my boss," and Michael goes, "It would be quite fun to bash him in the head with my fists."
Yeah.
And again, now we see Michael in another scene. Looks like he's retrieving a laptop for some reason.
Is it a laptop or is it a tray?
Well, that's a good point.
I think it's a tray. Oh no, it might not be. Yeah. Maybe it's a laptop. You're right.
Also, the guy who he's punching up there, that's not the party boy Chad character, is it, with his slick back hair?
Oh, it might be. We've just zipped past it.
We zipped past it so we can't see. I'll use my powers of reversal to find it.
Maybe.
He's got a little distinctive ankle bracelet. That's probably worth checking, cross-referencing with the other scene.
Yeah.
Worth noting in the background, there's sort of like a military Patriot-style van coming past.
Yeah. Back on the booze again.
Back on the boozy doozy.
Golf. Another thing we know that you can do in the game. You can see Griffith's observatory on the top of the hill, right in the centre of your picture, or whatever the in-game equivalent is, which I can't remember quite now. Smashing his golf club down, Dan. I think we've all done that playing golf.
Yeah, and there'll be a fully modelled golf course, and you'll be able to play golf in GTA 5. Yeah, more rage, smashing up his plasmoid TV or his...
I'm miserable. I'm pretty average for this town.
Okay, and now we get to see Michael and the crew breaking into what looks like the diamond store.
So this is, just to clarify then, this is different, we think, to the one of them dressed in their Bug Stars outfit, or do we think it could be the same heist, just they're just dressed differently for reasons we can't really talk about at the moment?
Yeah, I think maybe we better not explain that
Okay.
right now, but let's just enjoy them wielding guns and taking part in stealing another man's money. You can see the distinctive sort of carry bags that they always put the cash in, and that appears in several scenes. Helicopter pursuit. Again, you can see up close, you can see Trevor piloting the chopper. It looks like Michael on the left of him, and you'd guess that that's Franklin at the back wielding a machine gun. Here we see the scene where Michael breaks into the FIB building to retrieve... In fact, is it the FIB building or the CIAA one?
FIB, I think. I can't remember, actually.
Oh, well, sorry. Now. Yeah, don't want to make a mistake. But basically, this is the mission described by Game Informer, where Michael rappels in to retrieve someone who's of importance, I think, to the FIB. And rumours have suggested that this might be a famous and or returning character from GTA history. I will say that even using freeze frame here, it's quite hard to tell. And
it doesn't look like anyone.
No, it didn't strike me as anyone obviously famous.
But if it was going to be someone famous, would Rockstar go and spoil it in a trailer?
Possibly not.
No.
Again, we can see like a sniper rifle in action, guy getting taken out, like kind of a party scene. Now this is exciting. This is absurdly exciting. This is the like a huge what do you call it, passenger jet, whatever it is, coming in.
Car chase on the runway. What did we make of that, Dan? What's our we had a little theory about that off air.
Well, our theory is, given that was a pretty dynamic action scene and they're clearly pursuing the plane, in another trailer 2, you know, the Stevie Wonder Skeletons one, we see a Jeep fall out of the back of a large carrier jet. Now, we're not sure because it's hard to tell exactly, but we're suspecting is that the thing that they're pursuing in later on, which again looks like a really exciting dynamic mission.
It would sort of tie up why there's lots of cars on a runway, and it looked like the passenger door of the plane was open, cargo door of the plane was open there as well. So the two are relatively in the same universe there, which might suggest that they're tied up somehow. So that's the Michael trailer. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Please do put your comments below. If you spot anything, add it. We will be analysing them in much greater detail later on down the line. Please tune in on Thursday to see our extra special feature-length preview of GTA 5. Dan and I saw the game last week. Dan, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, just to say, on screen now, or it should have been a minute ago, you will be able to see links to our other 2 pieces of trailer analysis. We've also got a Trevor trailer to analyse and a Franklin trailer to analyse. I'd say maybe Michael's is the most in-depth trailer, but there's actually loads of cool stuff in the other videos. Do check them out.